Lesson 24B is proportions day 2. We're going to solve proportions just like we started learning yesterday, but we're going to focus on finding multipliers, so we're moving away from division and explaining in words that process. Same, why am I learning this as yesterday? So yesterday we learned how to solve this kind of proportion. It's pretty simple. You just, most of you like the second method I taught. The first one was scaling up until you stop at 20 at the top. So you see that 25 would be the answer. Or most of you realize that 4 times 5 is 20, so 5 times 5 is 25, right? So this only works if it's a whole number. If it's not a whole number, that's what we're learning today. Okay? Yesterday we also talked about this one where we divided. We're not going to do this anymore. I want you to think of everything as multiplication. So instead of dividing by 2, like here we have 32 divided by 2 is 16, right? If I make these fractions, this is 32 over 1 times, what's this fraction now? 1/2. This is the multiplier we're going to focus on. So instead of using division, we're going to multiply. So here's that same problem, but with multiplication. So 120 times half gives us 60. So 32 times half would give us our answer of 16. Okay? And I want you to tell me what that multiplier is. And the reason why I want you to do that is we're going to move into finding the constant of proportionality, which is all multiplying. And if you think of it as division, you're going to start getting confused. So we're going to start making everything in terms of multiplication. So you're multiplying by fractions. Here's a problem from yesterday. I know you're thinking 36 divided by 6, but let's look at it this way. This number here, we have 36 times what gives us 6? A sixth, because I want the answer to be 6, right? So I need to multiply by 6 so that I can cross cancel this and it becomes 6. Again, times a 6. 36 over 1 times a 6 gives me 36 over 6, which is 6. Then I take the same multiplier for the bottom, 24 times a 6, which gives us 24 over 6, n equals 4.
So we're like doing the same thing but
Right, it's good. It's just like we did yesterday, but instead of thinking of it as division, I want you to start thinking of everything as multiplication. Okay? And then the multiplier is 1/6. So if I ask for multiplier and you say 6, that is not correct. The multiplier is 1/6. So make sure you're doing it in terms of multiplication. So now we filled in n, we can say that the first ratio is equivalent to that second ratio. Okay? Here's number 2. Again, we want to find what n is, so we need to first look at the numbers we know. 114 times what is going to give me 38? Carlos? Good, 1/3. So here's 114 times a third gives me 114 over 3, which is 38. So the top number also has to multiply by 1/3. 24 times 1/3 is 8. N equals 8. We multiply by 1/3 to get it. And now that we filled in what n is, we can say 24 over 114 is equivalent to 8 over 38. Number 3. 12 times what gives us 6? Times half. 12 times half, multiply across would be 12 over 2, which is 6. So the bottom number, you also have to multiply times half to find n. So just like yesterday, you're multiplying the top and bottom by the same thing to find what n equals. It's just that yesterday everything was in whole numbers, so it was a little bit faster and easier. What's 20 times half? 10. Good. N equals 10. We multiply by half to get it, so that now we have equivalent ratios. Here's number 4. 4 times nothing is going to give me 21 as a whole number, right? So you can't think of it as division and then try to cheat your way that way. So we want to go with the same pattern. Look at these numbers. 4 times what equals 21? Well, the answer has 21. Does it have any 4s in it? No, right? So I want to get rid of the 4 by cross-canceling, so I'm going to put the 4 on the bottom. And the answer is 21, so I'm going to put the 21 there that doesn't get crossed out. See that? So my multiplier is 21 over 4. Let's say it again. 4 times what equals 21? There's no more 4s in my denominator. It gets cross-canceled out. So I know the 4 has to be on the bottom. And the answer is 21, which doesn't get crossed out. So I'm going to put that one on top. So my multiplier is 21 over 4. Then you can solve the bottom part. 5 times 21 over 4 gives me 105 over 4, which is a mixed number answer. Number 5. Yesterday we learned 2 times what equals 13, right? There's no whole number that's going to work. So today we learned you can use fractions. 2 over 1 times some fraction gives me 13 over 1. Again, I don't have any 2's left in the bottom of my answer. I have a 1. So in order to do that, I need to cross-cancel these 2's, right? So I know I'm going to have a 2 on the bottom. And the answer is 13, which doesn't get crossed out, so I know 13's on the top. So what's my multiplier? 13 over 2. Now you can find n. 9 times 13 over 2 is going to equal n. So your work is going to be like this. 9 times 13 over 2 equals, Sean? Good, 117 over 2, which as a final answer you can make a 58 and a half. So again, number 5, we multiplied by 13 over 2, and then n was 58 and a half. So that we have equivalent ratios. Any questions? Okay, number 6 I'm going to do with you as well. Notice the n is now on the left side, right? But this is an equal sign in the middle, which means it doesn't matter which direction I read it, right? 2 equals 2, or this way, 2 equals 2. Same thing, right? So I'm going to just write my multiplier on this side. No big deal. I'm just reading it from right to left. 7 times what is 15? I'm going to do my work here. 7 times what is 15? What number is going to be on the bottom? 7, because I know I want to cross it out. What number is on top? 15. So what's my multiplier? Good. 15 over 7. Go ahead and find n. So we have n equals 8 and 4/7. We multiplied by 15 over 7 to get our answer. And now we have found what n is, so we have equivalent ratios. 4/7 is equivalent to 8 and 4/7 over 15. I just read it backwards. That's all I did there. All right, number 7, 8, and 9, I would like you to try on your own. Number 7, if it makes you more comfortable, you're welcome to rewrite this. If it bothers you that you can't write your multiplier in the middle, it's an equal sign, so you can switch the sides around. That is fine. Otherwise, just write it on the right side. What was your multiplier?
I multiplied 9 over 5.
Good. Oh, well, actually going from right to left, you want to get the 9's crossed out so that your answer is 5. So it's actually times 5 over 9. So what does n equal, Sean?
I put n equals 3 3/4.
It should be n equals 3 1/3. 6 over 1 times 5 nines would be 30 over 9, which is 3 1/3. Anyone get this one right? Oh, good. Very nice. Number 8. Anyone would like to share for that one? Noah, thank you. What was your multiplier?
My multiplier was 11 over 3.
Good, because we want to get that 11, but cross the 3 out. So then 11 over 3 times 7, n equals what?
N equals 22 and 1/3.
Very, well, close. It's 25 and 2/3. 77 divided by 3. 25 and 2/3. Anyone get this one right? Awesome. So now we have equivalent ratios. Again, write your answer as a mixed number because this is ratio equals ratio to make a proportion, right? 11 is already one of the numbers. N has to be the one other number. If you leave it as 77 over 3, now you're comparing 3 numbers. A ratio is a comparison of 2 numbers. Last one. Okay, Sean. Good. 22 over 3. N equals 36 and 2/3. Raise your hand if you got this one right. Good. And then it's a mixed number because we are comparing it to 22, making that ratio comparing 2 numbers. Okay. Number 2s, you're going to share what you learned today. Ready? Share.